Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope you are all doing well. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, please. Wow, what a glorious week we had last week, and it continues into this week. It's been 5 years, hasn't it? Was it 5 years today or yesterday that Harry and Meghan said goodbye? Oh, Stephen Black, hello. Thank you so much for your donation. You said reading about people getting triggered over Meghan cooking pasta and creating floral arrangements is wild. The British press obsessing how much she spends on clothes with her own money is insane. Exactly. What they need to be obsessing over is how much we are spending on the current remaining crop of royals, and they're smiling and waving here and there, as William likes to say. Thank you so much, Stephen Black. Love to see a guy squatty in the chat. Yeah, and you're so right. It just I feel like this week, I mean, it's a process that's been slowly happening, but this week, a lot of people who maybe aren't part of the squad and who are just, onlookers, who aren't part of our little, world in the way that we understand the situation with Meghan and Harry and the royals. I feel like they're starting to go, what is this? What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? Church Nelly, member for 28 months. Thank you so much, Church Nelly. Thank you so much for always showing up, being an incredible mod, making us laugh. Appreciate you so much. And TT Jones, a new member. Welcome. Welcome to the Madhouse. Love having you here. Just a reminder, you can also join memberships through Buy Me a Coffee if you would like. Appreciate everyone who supports via donations, but also just everyone for showing up. Okay, let's get on with it because I have missed quite a lot that we need to catch up with. So for Women's Day, Meghan posted these two gorgeous shots, or three, sorry. One of her and her mum. I don't know if we've ever seen this photo before. I think one of Meghan's ex-friends and I think her dad had released a bunch of family photos some time back and childhood photos. But I don't know if I've ever seen this picture of Meghan and Doria before. Obviously this one with Harry and Meghan on the beach. That dress, by the way, sold out. And little Lily and Harry. As I said in the past, I don't feel like I need to see these children ever. But any part of their lives, their family life that they want to share, always appreciated. And it's very clear that they want to, also balance that with protecting their children's identities. So that was very sweet for Meghan to share that very cute picture of her and of Harry and Lily, who's getting big. Wishing the kids health and happiness, and they shall have that because they're out of that crazy institution. So that was what was Meghan. That's what Meghan shared on Instagram for Women's Day. Every single year, Women's Day comes around. All the timelines are full of quotes from Meghan, and there are many very inspirational ones from her to share, unlike some other people who we won't talk about today. Also, on the Archwell website, they posted quite a bit for Women's Day. I won't always do updates on what they're posting on Archwell, but do go back and check there regularly. They held a session for young women who were affected by the LA fires. They also posted about the women who have received NAACP awards via the Archwell Foundation, the award that they give out every single year. It's $100,000 to extend research in the digital space. So they gave a nod to all of the women, Sophia Noble and others, who they have given funding. And Meghan also posted this. This was her last. Actually, no, this was her second last post. The last post she actually put up was all of the incredible cooking and homemaking that with Love Megan has inspired, and we'll get to that in a minute. But this is just her picking sweet peas from the garden, and I think we're going to get a mix of stuff that's just very everyday, behind the scenes, day in the life. By the way, I do apologize, guys and dolls, because I have a terrible cold right now. Sorry if my voice sounds a bit muffled. But yeah, a mixture of everyday, day in the life, and also meaningful stuff with Archwell, and media related stuff as well. Like with the cooking show, and like stuff that they're producing with Netflix. Also, I haven't actually watched the segment from the Drew Barrymore show. I don't think the full segment is actually posted online. Um, but Megan spoke a lot about their home life. Drew asked her, questions about Harry and the kids, and she spoke about how she obviously didn't expect to meet H and for this to be their love story. She spoke about what an amazing father Harry is, a very hands-on dad, that she feels very blessed. Um, she also told a story about when she was a nanny for this Irish family, and she had asked, the husband about um, like some marriage advice, and he had said, never stop dating your spouse, which I think is very, very good advice. I think it's very easy to just fall into routines when you've been with someone for a very long time, and take it for granted, but trying to keep things as fresh as they were on the first day. And I do get that feeling when I see Harry and Meghan, out in public, um, that they're that type of couple. And that they've been able to just get away and escape, literally escape, because on Royal Mafia is a cult, escape, a life of being in a gold gilded cage, although the gold is rather rusty, and create a a life for themselves and their kids. They also shared on the Drew Barrymore show this little segment. It was a video of them making cookies for the audience. They made cookies for the whole audience. Archie and Lilly were helping. Harry's also in this video. You see him momentarily, and also some of Meghan's friends. So we got that, and of course we got oh, Drew also shared this sweet little moment of her meeting Lady Di back in the day when Drew was a little. Isn't it crazy how these things come like full circle, right? Just adorable. Like, who would have thought? Diana would be so proud. And yes, we did get confirmation that season 2 is coming and that it's already been shot. It was shot with season 1, and I think this shows Netflix's commitment to Meghan, but also that they recognize fully her potential, because she is really the star of the show, in terms of the royals as a whole. She is the Kumar diamond in the crown. Harry recognized this, and it's why he literally moved mountains and left a whole kingdom. And it's a shame that the royal institution couldn't see the potential that Meghan had to bring them into this new era. But I think it's just a sign from the stars that the other royals and the royal institution as it is was never meant to move into the new era. It was meant to just stay behind. And behind it shall stay. Now, one of the big discussions that's been happening about Meghan's show is its relatability, and whether or not it's relatable, and who it's relatable to. And let me just say, if it's not relatable to you, then it's not relatable to you. Doesn't mean it's not relatable to other people. Doesn't mean it's not inspirational to other people. And quite frankly, Meghan doesn't actually have to be relatable to you. Those who get it, get it. Those who feel inspired, feel inspired. She doesn't have to be for everyone. She has a fan base, and that's who really matters here. But to all those people saying that Meghan is not relatable, are castles and gold carriages relatable? Are castles and gold carriages relatable? That's a question I have. Is buying a £3 million mansion right next to a house that your wife already has to stop it from being turned into a rowdy wedding venue, is that relatable? Now, this is the ridiculous excuse that the Daily Fail has come up with, but I actually think the reason he's bought that property is because it's for Camilla's kids. It's a nice little place, estate that Camilla's side of the family is going to have whenever Charles departs this earth, setting her and the family up for life. And we knew it was coming when they were front and center at the coronation. This is really what Camilla has been working for, making sure her family is secured. I mean, you've got her brother out here writing books for Fortson and Mason department store. Now they've got the house. They have everything they ever wanted. Let's go to your comments and then we will get on to the next thing. Okay, y'all are saying hello to each other, which is adorable. All right. And yeah, I think that people that are looking at Meghan's show and just seeing the fancy house, just seeing the fancy cookware, just seeing the fancy clothes, they're not looking at the bigger picture. But again, it will resonate with who it matters. I thought this was a really good comment for someone that was going around. It said, I do feel like everyone is missing what Meghan's show is really about, though. At its core, this show is about being more intentional with our relationships. Hence the name With Love Meghan. She specifically hones in on what each guest loves and makes it all about them and gifting them with experiences and personalized touches that create an atmosphere of love and connection between people. People think it's a fluff piece, but it's actually quite deep if you look at it from that perspective. 100%. This is Meghan said it herself. It's not about being perfect. It's just about doing what you can and finding joy in the little moments. I think if you are someone that comes from chaos, or if there are just certain values that weren't in your home, something as simple as joy or going around somebody's house to enjoy time at their home, um, you can actually be triggered by that in a very negative way. It actually reminds me of years ago. I had this friend who I'm no longer friends with, by the way, because I realized that she was actually quite envious of me. But I invited her to our home once, and I cooked her a meal. It was actually my mother that insisted. She was like, I feel like you need to start inviting your friends around a lot more. So I specifically invited her around because I just wanted a quiet like afternoon with her over the weekend. I cooked her food, I made her a meal. The whole time she was really, really awkward and just weird. This is someone who I actually knew in college. The whole time she was really awkward and weird, and it wasn't until like sometime afterwards I realized this person was really jealous of me and hated me for like no reason. But I also realized that this was clearly something that was not normal to her or in her home or how she grew up. Um and so it was very like just weird, I think, for her to be around my house and to get hospitality like that. And I think some people, instead of um going, oh, this is actually something that maybe I could do or I could make a normal for me, because it's not a normal for them, they will react negatively to it. And I think that's what is happening with some people, because when I look at all of the pictures that have been shared, I'm going to share some of them with you. It's normal people who live in normal homes being inspired by the show and taking what they have or whatever it is they have, no matter how small or humble it is, and creating joy with that. And that's really what it's about. You don't need to have a $13 million mansion. It's the small things. And a lot of the things that Meghan included in her show were very accessible. I mean, I shared, where is it now? Do I have it on the screen? Oh, it hasn't loaded for some reason. But I shared a picture of, it was do you remember when Meghan was making the drinks and she made those it was the ice cubes in the silicone molds that were shaped like flowers. It was the one where she also made the ice cubes with flour. Here it is, with the little flowers and the ice cubes. I mean, this is like $5.99 on Amazon, $6.99. Rose molds, silicone molds, just to add a little bit of joy to your drink. And look, it's things like this. You can literally go online. There's a video. I think I've shown it on the podcast before. There's a video of one of the Queen's butlers. It was one of these behind the scenes in Buckingham Palace that they did a while ago. And he's cutting a banana. Like, this is how the Queen would eat a banana. Like, so pretentious. The whole royal institution literally thrives on this idea of, we are, you know, at the highest pecking order of society, and this is what you should aspire to, despite the fact that it's completely out of reach for most people. You could, if you were talented enough, maybe you can sing, you can dance, you can act, you can play a sport. You have more of a chance of becoming a celebrity and becoming a multimillionaire as a celebrity than you ever would as a royal, because that wealth is generational, stolen over generations, or you have to marry into it, right? There is that you have a good chance of becoming a low-key celebrity who has a couple millions in the bank than you ever will being a royal. And the royals place themselves at the top of the food chain as something that you should aspire to. Their mannerisms, the way they dress, this is how you do it the proper way. And I think a lot of the jealousy and the vitriol is, in the end, we see behind the curtain now. The rose tinted glasses are off. It's actually not all that. It's just all a show and a charade. Whereas what Meghan is presenting is something that we can all partake in. There's no gatekeeping here. The power of the royal institution is that they gatekeep to keep you out. But you show up at the coronation, you show up at Trooping of the Colour, and you're made to feel like you're part of this. You're not. Your part is to serve the institution. Okay, that's my political rant of the day. Let's get on to, people sharing their joy. And I think that, as Chris said in this brilliant tweet, I think Meghan has found the balance between relatable and aspirational. And for a brand like this to work, that's what you have to be. And hundreds of posts I could share. These are just a few. People buying the pots, trying the dishes, trying their own versions. So how is this unrelatable? It's unrelatable to you. Here's someone making the bread. Someone, there was a whole bunch of people who were posting about, oh, I've decided to be, get back into my hostessing vibes, inviting friends over. I mean, regardless of where you are in life, how wealthy or not you are, no, money cannot buy class. Money cannot buy class. And I think you should always aspire to be a person of, great character, of grace and elegance, wherever you are. You can be very elegant with a $2 wine glass. It doesn't have to be a $500 wine glass. The person with the $500 wine glass could be a rather skanky and corrupt person. Person with the $2 wine glass and the cheap, high street wine can be a person of greater character. It's not the price of the item. It's the principles of the person. And you can you have the right to bring joy, class, elegance, and grace into your home. And that's what you should aspire to, wherever you are in life. I was a working class girl, um, growing up in East London. My mother still taught me how to set a table. My mother still taught me how to keep garden. We still grew food in the garden. I've never been a millionaire. So to say it's unrelated, and none of these people posting about they're inspired by With Love and Meghan, most of them aren't millionaires either. By the way, I also bought lavender and cake tins. The lavender I'm gonna dry. I'm gonna use that for bath the bath tea bags. And then the cake tins, I'm gonna make a 2-tier cake, the raspberry and lemon cake. I'm not gonna do the 3 tiers. That's a bit much for me. I'll start with 2-tier and I will show you the results of that. I will let you know what that looked like when it comes out. Okay, let's go to comments and then we'll do some laughing at some trolls. Yeah, are the costumes they wear for events relatable? Please. Please, please, please. Is having 30 butlers relatable? And a lot of it is because one of Rahini's comments actually reminded me of something. A lot of it is because of this. This is a situation that went down on Twitter some time ago, but it really relates to what's going on now with Meghan. And that if you are a person of a certain hue, you have people who many who don't even want to admit their unconscious bias. When they see you in a position of privilege and wealth, it shakes them. Because as far as they're concerned, they shouldn't have it. If as far as they're concerned, you shouldn't have it, especially if they don't have it. This was a Miss Liv Siddle who posted this: deleted Instagram today for the first time ever in 8 years. Don't know when I'll be back. But let it be known that this was the image that did it. An image of a black woman enjoying a picnic on her estate. This is her estate. This is Hill House Vintage, who is a well-known um, content creator online. She focuses on vintage, femininity, housekeeping, and she is a Black British woman who lives on this very lovely estate here in the UK. And Ms. Liv Siddle was so angered by this black lady having a picnic, she went on this little rant on Twitter. She later retracted this with a apology. And then Hill House Vintage went on to just, with grace, just say, I'm not one to dwell on things, so that's all I'll say on the matter. And she just, she had a very nice rebuttal. She said, it's been the strangest 24 hours that I've ever experienced on social media. And indeed, this comment by Liv Siddle actually backfired because it made Hill House Vintage go viral. It started with a Twitter rant using my picture as an example of what is wrong with Instagram. The author has since contacted me privately and apologized. So she didn't actually apologize in public. It's how much of a coward she is. And ended with an incredible outpouring of love, support, and kindness that I will be eternally grateful for. She just made this account to share her love of style, architecture, homemaking, baking, summer dresses, flowers, and all that stuff. She also goes on to say, these images are meant to be joyful and fun and are styled and created to please the eye. They are a tiny snapshot of an otherwise very mundane and normal life. Too shallow for you, perhaps, but I'm a firm believer in taking the responsibility to find the content that brings you joy and moving on from the things that upset you. Exactly. All these people who are hate watching or watching these channels that are like, oh, I watched Meghan's show so that you don't have to. So you're still going to these channels because you're still interested. You want to know what someone who themselves are a hate watcher thought of it. How sad. Have I ever come on this podcast and been like, "Oh, guys, I hate watched Earthflop. I hate watched Kate's Christmas Carol concert. I have never watched a Christmas Carol concert from Kate or an Earthflop from William. Never, and I never will. By the way, like why would I do that? It's interesting. I mean, it's literally this, right? What's interesting is the haters watching Meghan's show and not watching their own. Charles launched some King's Music Room thing on Instagram, and I think it's meant to be something to do with the royals or Charles picking his favorite songs. I haven't been on the royal family Instagram to watch, obviously, but from what I'm getting from comments, it's like he's giving commentary on songs, and I saw one person going on a rant because apparently in the trailer they specifically picked a Bob Marley song, and they were like, the audacity to pick a Bob Marley song after William and Kate basically lost Jamaica and half the Commonwealth. But that's them trying to be relatable, right? Playing a Bob Marley song. Uh they're trying, folks. They're trying. Bless them. Bless their poor souls. They're trying. Let them try. It's adorable. And also, I mean, this sent me into an absolute frenzy. Where is it now? Because the way I laughed. Oh, by the way, and doesn't it just prove that this was absolute nonsense and a waste of time? Congratulations, Jason Off and William, for nothing. You wasted your time with that ridiculous, ridiculous segment on 60 Minutes that did absolutely nothing. It did nothing. But we knew they were going to try something, right? It was coming. Even with the whole segment on 60 Minutes Australia, it was nothing but a blip on the radar. Oh, here it is. Sorry, it was loading. Jack Royston. When I tell you I laughed about this for a good 10 minutes. So Jack Royston is he's not an official Royal Rotaract. He's just one of these that jumped on the bandwagon. On the Harry and Meghan hate bandwagon and started writing hater stories for Newsweek. But he's not like I don't think he's an official rota like Roy and Nika and them lot. Anyway, he often writes hater articles, but according to Google, he's dead. According to Google, he was born in 1920 and he died in 1992. Shout out to the squaddy that found this because I'll tell you, I howled for a good 10 minutes. Instead of writing hater articles, he needs to figure out why Google thinks he's dead. He's dead inside. He's dead inside. And you would be if your career compromises of doing nothing but writing hate articles. You would be dead inside, and Google recognizes it. Rest in peace to his soul. Departed this earth in 1992, and he is now just walking the earth as an empty vessel, writing hater articles for a living. Absolutely hilarious. Oh, my. I mean, what are these people going to do when they can no longer take advantage of being on the hater train? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? By the way, the pot that they used in the episode with Daniel, the Le Creuset, is that it? Apparently, this has a lifetime warranty. It's very good. Everybody who has it says that they love it. It's meant to be like the standard for cooking ware. And look at what happened this week. Searches went through the roof, and so did sales. It's sold out in a lot of places. Meghan has the ability to literally move entire brands and their sales. For example, this lady. I have a watch of this video. This is just incredible. This is someone who owns a jewelry line, and Meghan wore one of her bracelets.
I've been sitting on inventory for a year, and in 4 hours, that inventory sold out. If they can wear something physical from a young girl that was in a homeless shelter with no place to go, and to be able to wear something that was created, then whatever their dreams are possible, whatever their vision is, can come true and will come true if they consistently unlock the light and bravery and courage.
Amazing. Amazing. I didn't even know that lady was homeless. Bless her. She has been blessed. And also, there's a lot of videos like these going around. I want to play this for you. This is from TikTok. A lot of videos echoing this sentiment.
I never thought I'd be the person watching With Love Meghan and wondering what time Home Goods is closing because I need to get there. Watching this show with Meghan Markle has done two things. One, it's told me that I need to eat better because I feel like when I cook, my food is always so dark. Does dark mean it's unhealthy? It's kind of giving that. The food that Meghan is making on this show, it's also bright, so light. It looks so beautiful. I need to expand my palette or something, okay? Two, I've been a bad hostess. I've been serving people on paper plates, and Meghan would never. Meghan would never. When I say the way she lays out things for her guests, it's definitely a love language. Her friend Daniel said something. I think he said she's doing things with intention. I've never felt so bad when it comes to hosting in my life until watching this. I am so thankful to watch this show. And I'd imagine this is what people felt like watching Martha Stewart. Like, they had to have had the same feeling I'm feeling watching Meghan, because Meghan is inspiring me not only to just be a better hostess, but to do things with intention. Like, the lifestyle, the brightness of everything is just making me happy. I can't explain it. I'm just like happy watching this show. Really, I haven't stopped smiling since I started watching the first episode. Meghan, please keep being a ray of sunshine. Keep being a light. Please, please, please.
There you go. Keep being a ray of light. Keep being inspirational. And sometimes, people need to feel inspired. That lady that we watched, I can see that she's a cool lady. She has a good vibe about her. Seems like a cool person. She just needed a little bit of inspiration to help level up her life. Sometimes that's all people need. And that's what Meghan's giving. For free. If you went to a personal coach, they'll charge you $100 an hour. Meghan's giving it away for free. And bringing joy. What's there to be mad about? What is there to be mad about? You just want to be mad. Argue with your shadow. Argue with your shadow. Rhonda, I will never believe he listened to Afrobeat. Oh, was that part of Charles's thing as well? I just saw people ranting about he was listening to Bob Marley. I didn't like watch the full thing. Also, Meghan gave an interview with Godmothers. Godmothers is the independent bookstore that we saw her at the opening of. There's a whole interview on this that I will repost in the community tab. You can read it in full. It's Meghan just it's actually a very light-hearted interview. Actually, she's just talking about life, things that she likes. I'm not gonna like read the whole thing. There was nothing like really of great significance in it. It was just like a very happy, joyful interview that you can go and read. But there was this little segment here where she said godmother said the name godmothers was inspired by fairy godmothers, so not godmothers in the religious sense, but the magical women in your life who have supported and shaped you. Who are the godmothers that have shaped your life? So Meghan said, two extraordinary women who created godmothers, Jennifer Rudolph Walsh and Victoria Jackson, are my godmothers. They're very different people with different love languages, but their spirit and their importance in my life is the same. The way Jennifer and I can right the wrongs of the world during a 2-hour hike and then meet for cocktails later in the day and laugh about everything and nothing at the same time is the perfection of our bond on both sides of the coin. Yeah, Meghan's just living her life. Meghan's living her life, going for hikes. Going for hikes with Jennifer. Going for hikes with Delphi. And then having cocktails. And then going to yoga. And then picking sweet peas from the garden. And then having her sun tea. And then taking Lilly out into the garden and picking strawberries and making jam, because jam is her jam. Meghan is a living example of live well no matter what your haters do or say. Like, this is an example of success is the best revenge. Live well and focus on your bag. Beyonce said it the best. Always stay gracious, best revenge is your paper. Because what are they going to do now? How much longer are they going to rant and rave and be angry? How much longer? You're pouring poison into your own cup. While Meghan out here getting us all cooking and homemaking. By the way, I've also seen videos of families, mothers with their children, men also. We're getting the men out here cooking and homemaking. Bravo. Bravo, Meghan. Everybody is invited. I mean, that's literally the ethos. Everybody is invited, and everybody who matters has taken the invitation. With that, I will end the podcast. I did have one other thing with Harry, but I think I'll talk about that tomorrow because for some reason that slide did not load. But yes, Harry was out supporting the heroes of the LA fires, as him and Meghan have been. But yeah, I will end the podcast there today because my throat is really just packing in now, and I must sound absolutely awful. But yeah, let's go to your comments and then we will call it a day. Thank you as always for being patient with me, folks. Smith, which Bob Marley song did he choose? I don't know. Yeah, let's go on the Royal Instagram or something and check. Claudia, we are leaving the Commonwealth this year. Good for you. Yes, 60 minutes Australia has gone to the dogs. Absolute waste of time. Nurse Jack being gone since 1992 had me cackling. Yeah, his soul is gone. His soul is gone. Oh, is it Le Creuset? Thank you. Le Creuset. I'm going to say it like that from now on. R. Smith, you said the takeaway should be to try the tips and recipes you see. Some of those same items can be found at cheaper price points, and a coat of paint changes the entire vibe in a room. Exactly. I literally said this the other day. One coat of paint, some new curtains, some new cushion covers, a rug, some flowers on the table. Go down to the thrift store. You don't need to go to IKEA even. Upcycling, Meghan's all about that too. You don't need to spend ridiculous amounts of money to just have a little bit of an upgrade. You just need to be creative. Use the University of YouTube. Cheap ways, DIY things in the house. Dorothy, you said, with all the money they had, the royal family still don't look happy. They are trying to catch up. Exactly. Not only can money not buy class, it can't buy happiness. But I think if that money is your hard-earned money, I would like to think that it would bring you some happiness just to know that you worked for it and you have a greater appreciation for it. Not just that you inherited it from a 1,000-year-old institution. Yeah, fans sharing their dishes that they made from the show is great. I think that's fantastic. Keep sharing them, folks. Yes, R. Smith, word is that many of these snobs are asset rich and cash poor. That exactly. And because a lot of their assets are kept in trusts, they don't necessarily have access to it. There's, terms and conditions. They have to keep certain things in the families, like estates, for example, and they can't just sell them off like that. And even if they could, you're then taking away assets from the family name. Those assets are meant to stay in the family for generational wealth. So you're very right. A lot of them are very asset rich, but cash poor. That's why they love all these fancy titles and stuff, because they can, get money, get investments, get access without ever having to work for it. Cash for honors and all that nonsense. Here's my name. I'm from this family. Invite me to your party. It's actually written that Wallace Simpson and the king that abdicated, that's how they kind of got by for a very long time. They were known as socialites. People wanted to fly them out. People wanted them at their parties. People, hosting them in their homes. But it was after the initial sparkle went out, they struggled. But that was a very different time. Kim, you said, at this level of global success, anyone still invested in trashing Meghan should be embarrassed. Yes, or getting the side eye. Are you not embarrassed? It's very embarrassing. Kimmy fan, you said, for shows like this, I don't want relatable. I've got my own cluttered kitchen for relatability. I don't want the fans. I want the fantasy Meghan gives. Yes, my fantasy, in your own way, can become a reality. Do you feel inspired now to declutter your kitchen? Oh my god, that just reminded me of something. Meghan and Marie Kondo, that match made in heaven. Can we please make that happen? Meghan and Marie Kondo. All of these brands need to cut Meghan a check for real. All right. I'm gonna end things there. Thank you, everyone, for being patient with me. I sound absolutely awful today. Hopefully, I'll be a little bit better tomorrow. I'm off the whole week, so I'll be able to catch up or keep on top of podcasts rather. Had a lot of work the last few days, and then I got sick. So yeah, I should be with you a lot more this week. Wishing you a lovely week also, and I won't play the outro. But thank you as always, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.